Pentiment is a game largely about dialogue choices, akin to the part in an RPG where you arrive in a new town, talk to the residents and rifle through their belongings, but expanded and zoomed in to sharp focus until every NPC becomes all too human. The experience of Pentiment is like scampering around inside a 16th century comic book, illustrated with great care by the artists of the day. It's also a bit like taking part in a theatrical performance, thanks to the fixed sets comprising the town and its nearby abbey, and the expressive animations of the flat-sketched cast as they deliver their parts in a splendid script. Pentiment entwines its murder plot with debates on the philosophy of the day, in a story focused on 3 events spread across 25 years. The dawning of the New Age is palpable in this game, and the struggles to come to terms with it rumbles furiously throughout. Whether it's from monks painstakingly scribbling tomes, elder villagers clinging to pagan rituals, wives desperate to alter inheritance laws, or young firebrands who've learned to read and question authority. Murder is merely one ingredient in a stew of ideas that colours your every question, suspicion, and judgment. In this way, Pentiment asks you to read between the lines of conversations, to contemplate intent and the social circumstances from which speakers emerge. You can't then simply rely on knowledge or reasoning to get your way. For example, it's not always a smart move to demonstrate your expertise in Latin or the law, because you may come across as a know-it-all or a show-off to the NPCs. Nor should you necessarily articulate sympathy for the plights of the less fortunate, lest you seem patronising or reckless. As one monk explains, it's easy enough for you to come and go. You don't have to live with the consequences. Sometimes, it's best just to shut up and listen. This need to be mindful of what you say is underlined on occasions when one of your responses triggers a message on screen. This will be remembered. Remembered decisions come to a head sooner or later. Perhaps you need some help from a character, and they tot up their pleasure or distaste at your remarks, in some cases with access to important information on the line. Such information may then be a matter of life or death when it comes to pointing the finger at a murder suspect. But limited time means you can't follow every lead, and must ultimately deliver an educated guess, or if you prefer, accuse whichever of the potential killers you think most deserves to lose their head. However you approach the case, you'll have plenty to mull over, thanks to a classic whodunit setup that throws shade on the pious and the unwashed alike. Unlike the average Poirot mystery, however, your attempts at playing detective can feel arrogant and misguided. After all, you're rushing to judgment over people who may be ill-equipped to defend themselves, and your intervention could disrupt the futures of whole families or the abbey itself. You'll get to know the townspeople better than you'll ever know most game characters. You're party to loves, losses, disputes, friendships, gossips, redemptions, and damnations. It warms the heart to see a fledgling courtship blossom into a blissful match, and it stings when you learn there's little food to go around at the Gertner's place these days. This game's melting pot of ideas and characters add nuance to tightly plotted murder investigations, as does an art and scripting style inspired by the 16th century scribes. The pace may feel slow at times, but for all the focus on dialogue choices, Pentiment is anything but all talk. We give it 4.5 out of 5.